All right. So happy to be here and joining everyone tonight. My name is Michelle Smith. If we haven't been introduced before, welcome. And as I was saying, this is going to be a yin-yin restorative. So we take certain positions within the 3 realms of all poses, and that is what gets us flowing. Sometimes we move a little bit more, sometimes we just stay in longer positions. Today we will be moving a tiny little bit, just enough so that we can get some nice good stretches in as well, okay? You're welcome to meet me on your mat in a comfortable seated position. If you'd like to sit on top of a pillow or a cushion or a zazu, you are more than welcome to do that. And just bringing navel towards spine, lengthening the chest, pressing your sitting bones down to the ground. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed or open. If you have them open, a soft gaze, 45-degree in front of you. Good. And lengthen through the neck, lengthen through the crown of the head. Soften your shoulders, soften your breath, soften the gaze. And begin to connect just with your natural breath right now, not trying to force anything. Just begin to feel the sensation of the breath flowing in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Good. Give yourself the time here to just feel that breath go in, travel throughout the body, and then exhale it out through the mouth. Notice if your breath begins to become a little longer. Could also begin to notice any sensation within your body that is calling your attention, or any thought that begins to arise. If it is a sensation, then go ahead and just breathe, sending prana that way, energy that way, your breath, just attention, a little TLC. But if it is thoughts that are arising from work or food or who to call or whatever it is, cookies, just kidding. See, now I put that on your thoughts now. Then just label it as thought and then just refocus back into your breath. Remember that there's no right or wrong way of doing this. We are literally sitting and breathing together right now. There's no way to do this wrong. We can fall off the tracks, right? And begin to bring thoughts or attention or get hooked into a rabbit hole, but we can just return to the breath every time, and that's like a new life. That's restarting our game, restarting our practice. Good. Now take the biggest inhale that you can possibly take. Try and make yourself the tallest you've been all day today. And exhale out through the mouth. Good. One more deep inhale. And exhale, sigh. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, sigh. Maybe bow a little forward. And this is just in recognition for ourselves to be here today, giving ourselves the time to come to practice. Good. Return back to your seat with your hands still at heart center. And I want you to think about one thing that you are grateful for today. What happened today that made you so grateful? And maybe you said one, maybe two things came out, maybe three things came out. Just notice how many things just suddenly pop. And now suddenly we feel grateful and happy to be here and alive, right? You may begin to lower your hands down back towards your legs. And let's begin to gently expand our hands towards our knees, expanding here our arms as well. Inhale, begin to lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, gently bringing your chin back down to the chest. Inhale, begin to lift the chin back up. And exhale, chin back down. Good, you're welcome to continue to follow your own breath, your own pace. As you breathe in, lifting and bring that chin here, allowing our neck to begin to relax and the muscles behind our back. Good. Let's breathe one more time and then gently make your way back to a neutral position, gazing forward. Good. Now let's begin to move our chin towards our right shoulder. And then inhale, moving through center now towards the left side. Inhale back through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Good, let's do one more round just like that. To the right. And then to the left. Come back to neutral and then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And stay here for a couple of breaths. Good. Inhale, begin to pull your head back through center. And then let's switch sides now, bringing your left ear towards your left shoulder. Not really trying to force any movement, just organically allowing gravity here to pull your neck in a certain direction. Good. One more deep breath. And exhale, gently come back to center. Good job. Begin to roll your shoulders up, back, and around. And then turning opposite direction now, up, forward, and around. Good. Inhale, begin to lift and rise your arms up overhead. Lengthen the arms as far up as you possibly can, trying to lengthen the arms as much as possible, activating here your navel, the abdomen area, just trying to pull that navel in towards your spine. Good job. Inhale, lengthen up a little bit more. And exhale, cactus your arms, cactus shape. Good. Inhale, lift your hands up overhead. One more time. And exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand and begin to pull over to the right. Now, left hip, just make sure that it's grounded, because when we pull ourselves, our body likes to just move fully. So here, just noticing, trying to keep us in place. Good job. One more deep breath, lengthen that left arm. And exhale, gently come back through center. Switch hands. Take a deep breath in, inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, begin to pull over to the left side. Right hip now grounds itself. Good. Continue to breathe. Continue to lengthen that right arm. Exhale. Very gently. One more deep breath. Inhale. And exhale back to center. Bring your hands back through heart center. And now let's switch into a tabletop position. So shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. Pressing, spreading out your fingers wide open. Good job. Good. And if you have a pillow, right, or a block that is near you, just bring it on. And I want you to test here your alignment and your balance, okay? So we'll bring the pillow to be right behind, right on our sacrum or lower back, lumbar area, however you want to call it. It's going to be holding there. And again, we are a table, right? Tabletop. So in this case, we can hold whatever is on top of us. I would limit no plates and no ceramic whatsoever, pottery. We don't want to break that, but that's why cushions and all are welcome right now. Good. From here, begin to lower your spine, your sternum downwards, and lifting up your shoulders towards your ears. Good. Begin to gaze up and bring your chin upwards. Navel all the way down towards the ground. So now we're rounding or rounding the back, but towards the ground. Good. And then exhale, begin to push the ground away. And now being so mindful of what you have on your back, trying not to really move it, but at the same time, trying to round your back as much as possible and lengthening your arms. Now, if this object falls, it's fine. It's okay. You can pick it up, and that's why we can try again. So continue just to move through these cat-cow motions and just taking like such mindful movements here in order for this object to try not to fall off of you, right? Good. Notice how your tailbone also, does it go all the way in, or can you just limit how much movement exists as you round your back, as you tuck your seat? Whoop. Good. Just testing boundaries of how far you can go. And if your object fell, then just let it now, stay wherever it is, and begin to take nice and deep breaths. Now really fully not focusing anymore on not dropping the object. So now you can actually push yourself a little past over that limit that you were holding yourself back in. Good. One more deep breath wherever you are, any organic movement that calls up on you. And then exhale, release, and come back to a neutral position. From here, we'll begin to work a little bit of movement into this position. And I want you to stretch and lengthen your right arm forward. And you're taking the time to really press left hand and both knees down to the ground. And as you extend that right arm, palm is facing down, your gaze is down to the ground. Good. Inhale, lengthen a little bit more. And exhale, lower back down to the ground. Good. Let's do the same thing now with the left hand. Taking nice deep breaths and lengthen. Tuck your belly in. Good. Try and lengthen the spine. Lengthen your arm just a little tiny more bit. Good. And on your next breath, you can lower your hands back down to the ground. Cool. Here now we're going to begin to kick. Now right leg is going to kick back. And here, point, flex, create little circles, just allowing the ankle to kind of stretch out. Get a nice rocking motion. Good. Lengthen your leg just a tiny little bit more. And exhale, gently lower your knee back down to the ground. Good. Let's do the same thing now with kicking our left leg back. Point your foot, flex, move around in little circles. Whatever movement you feel that you need right now that feels good for your left ankle. Good. Inhale, continue to lengthen that left leg. And exhale, gently pull it back down. Knees on the ground. Good. Now, we'll begin to just gently combine that, bringing right arm forward and then kicking left leg back. Trying to balance in this position, tuck your belly in, continue to lengthen your limbs. Good. 2 more deep breaths, just like we are, and then we're going to find a little movement. One more deep breath. And exhale, bend your knee, flex your foot. Thumb comes down and right arm travels back as if it wanted to tap your foot. And then inhale, lengthen back forward. And exhale, bring elbow to knee or knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen fully. Exhale, bend and move your arm back. So taps, lengthen, contract. Inhale, lengthen, contract, and tap. Lengthen and contract. Good. Inhale, lengthen your body up. And exhale, release your hand and your knee back down. Good. We're going to switch sides. Now, inhaling, lengthening your left arm forward and kick your right leg back. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, finding the balance. Good. Inhale, lengthen a little bit more. And exhale, bend your knee. Bring your thumb down. Travel your left arm back. Tap maybe your foot. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, contract knee to nose or elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Bend the knee. Shift your hand back. Tap. Lengthen. And contract. We're going to do 2 more just like that. And this can be at your own pace. Take your time, just being mindful of the movement. Good. And as you make your way back to center, when you're ready, you can lower your hand back down and your knee back down. Good job. Bring your knees together to touch, and we're going to shift our hips from one side, so to the left, and then to the right, kind of like a windshield wiper here movement with our hips. You may continue to lengthen and keep your arms nice and straight. Good job. And then we're coming back to center. Good. Now, tabletop position once again. And now we're going to get into a little nice shoulder stretch. All right. So in this particular case, we're going to thread the needle. So for those of y'all who already know how to do this, then that's kind of where we're going. Inhale your right arm to the side of the room. And take a moment just here to feel nice, deep breaths. Again, 3 points of contact. Good. Gently begin to lower your hand back down towards the ground. And then inhale, pick up that hand, lift up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it in. And now we're going to thread the needle between your wrist and your knee on the left side. Now bring your right shoulder down to the ground and your right ear as well. Hips are still elevated. And just putting a little nice, good pressure on that right shoulder. Now your left hand here is great because it's actually supporting you, right? So you can press as much as you need on that left hand to decide how much weight you actually want to put on your shoulder. But maybe you feel so flexible today that you might not need your left hand. You feel that is not really doing anything. If that is so, if that is the case, you can lift your left hand up towards the ceiling. Good. One more deep breath here. And exhale, lower down your hand. And begin to gently pick up back to tabletop position. And exhale back down to the ground. Good job. Now we're going to work the left side. So inhale, lengthen left arm to the left side. And we're going to hold it there for a few breaths, just getting nice and comfortable here. Good. Inhale, lengthen up a little bit more. Exhale, gently pull it back down towards the ground. Inhale, lift your left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, thread the needle, bringing your left shoulder and left ear down to the ground. Take your time here as well to rearrange the pressure on your left shoulder with your right hand. Notice the assistance or lack of assistance that your hand right now provides for you. And maybe replicate what you did on the other side. Maybe lifting, if you did, your arm up towards the ceiling. Good. One more deep breath. And exhale, gently lower your hand back down to the ground. Press and lift left arm up. And exhale back down to your mat. Good job. Tuck your feet together, knees widen, and come into a seated position. So similar to where you would be on a child's pose, right? But within your lower body. Now, if this feels really rough on your knees, then go ahead and find a little cushion here to support your hips. And that can be right in between your feet or right above your heels. Good. From here, bring your arms out near your hips. Lengthen the spine. And exhale, shoot your arms back and chest forward. A-shape, airplane the arms and begin to lower very, very, very gently down to the ground. If a clasp in your hands feels good or better than just airplaning your arms, then do that instead. Just be very mindful of the rhythm and the time that it can actually take you to lower all the way down, maybe all the way for your forehead to press on the mat. Inhale, continue to lift. Maybe if your hands are clasped, hands up overhead, bringing your shoulder blades together. If you're in airplane arms, just hold your arms right there. Keep them nice and strong. From now on, this practice is going to begin to get a little longer on each pose. Begin to take your time here to close your eyes and really connect back into the breath in your body. The sensations as well, just welcome them in. You feel a little tingling sensation in your arms and your neck. That is totally normal. Continue to breathe. We're going to be here for 2 more deep breaths. Good, last one. And exhale gently, your hands back down to the mat, to the ground. Begin to walk your hands up overhead, lengthening your arms into a regular balasana, child's pose. Press your palms down or the tips of your fingers down and inhale, lengthen and gaze forward. Exhale, bring your forehead back down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, back down. Good, last one. Inhale, gaze forward. And exhale, begin to shift your body to a 45-degree angle here, walking your hands to the right side and your chest presses onto your knee. Continue to lengthen your arms. Let your neck, let your head fall. Good, one more deep breath in this pose. And exhale, gaze up and begin to walk your hands back through center. Now towards the left side. Stretch your arms as far as you can, lengthen the spine, and allow your chest to press onto your left knee. Allow your head here to hang, neck, relaxing into this position. Taking real nice, deep breaths. Good. One more last deep breath here. And exhale, gently gaze up and begin to walk your hands back to center. Begin to walk your hands, when you're ready, back to the seated position where we started. You may release the cushion and come back to a tabletop position. From here, we're going to enter into a pigeon type pose. And for that matter, we can actually make it even more assisted. So be sure to have bigger pillows so that you can actually rest on in front of you, okay? Just so that you can move them around with your hands. If you want to come into this position through a downward facing dog, you're more than welcome to do so. But for us who are here on this tabletop, gently just begin kicking your right leg back. And exhale, bring knee to nose. Good. Try and hold that position here for a moment. And notice, okay, just notice if there's space for your foot to travel to the left and your knee to come closer to your wrist, your right wrist. Okay. If so, then just enter that way. If it doesn't feel good, just go ahead and come through a downward facing dog, kicking up and then into the position, okay? So pigeon pose on this right side. Continue to now extend your left leg back behind you. Good. And you'll start feeling your hips, obviously, very quickly. Begin to walk your hands back towards your hips. Inhale. Begin to lengthen the spine a little bit more. And exhale, gently just allowing here for your hips to get nice and comfortable. I know that sometimes this is easier said than done. Just notice if there's any blocks or pillows that can also help lift you up a little bit more, right? And if you need a little more assistance too, a cushion, a pillow is always welcome also, right at the beginning here of your left leg in this particular case. Good? Feels good? Then just draw in your pillows that you have prepared for yourself, and then gently, similar to what we did with your heart leading and taking your time, you're going to bring your forehead all the way down, or your face, to lay down on these pillows. Now, if you want to challenge yourself just a little bit more into this position, then you're welcome to shoot your arms back or clasp those hands together, similar to what we did, and very gently begin to lower all the way down until you find the support of your pillows. Once you're there, you can release your arms if you feel like hugging your pillows, or If you do want just that little extra challenge, you're welcome to stay in this position with your arms. Continue to breathe very gently. And then begin to wake your body up and maybe lengthen your arms or press against the pillows if that feels good. Just finding like a little cushion as you lift yourself up, waking your body back up. And take a moment here. And when you're ready, you may begin to lift your way back up. Bring your hands closer to center, enough so that you can, again, press your left knee maybe down on the ground and bring your right foot around back to that tabletop position where we started. Good. When you're ready, take a similar position. Now we're going to switch to the left side. Now, depending on how you got there on the other side, try and replicate the same now on this side, okay? So for us folks on our tabletop position, we'll begin to gently pull the knee into the chest. And then inhale, kick back. And exhale, pull that knee back into chest. And gently just noticing if your left foot has the space to move to the right side. Left knee comes close to your left wrist and gently stretching that right leg back behind you. If you need to cushion your right thigh, then you're welcome to do that. And pulling those pillows back a little closer to you. Perfect. And when you're ready, taking a good, nice, long posture here. Trying to keep all those muscles, your abs, your glutes, your knees engaged as they are right now. And if you find fit, and you did to the other side, you're welcome to begin to lower down towards your pillow or to airplane your arms or clasp your hands behind your back as you very gently bring your forehead back down towards the pillow. Take a few deep breaths here. And if your arms are ready to lower back down and maybe hug your pillow, go ahead and do that. If you want to work on your arms a little bit more, then just stay in that airplane or clasp position. Coming back into your breath. Gently sigh or release some air from inside of you. Any tension from just allowing ourselves to be in this pose for a long period of time. You may begin to press onto your pillows. Take your time lifting yourself back up from this position. And as gently as we came into the pose, begin to come out of the pose. If you have any cushions or pillows around you, you're welcome to release them. And very gently, notice if you can pull yourself back into that tabletop position. Good. Bring your knees close together once again. We're going to gently move our hips again in this windshield wiper motion from one side to the other. Good. And take a few cat-cows if that feels also really good, to just release any tension in the back and spine, or even shoulders, hips, anything that you need to move around. Good. We're going to come into one final hip opener before we take our stance now back on the ground to begin to wind down and into resting positions. But in this case, maybe you need to turn your pillows like I did, or maybe even I'll need to face you guys. But in this particular case, what I want you to do is we're coming into a frog pose. So you're going to widen your knees as much as it feels comfortable to you. You can keep your feet, your toes, trying to come together as you were on a child's pose, or you may open, if that feels comfortable to you, your feet outwards. Okay, kind of like a horseshoe in a way, or like a frog. And then begin to lower down. So here, as our knees get a little wider, our arms are here stacking above our pillows. When it feels comfortable, you'll begin to bend and maybe find your way into your forearms, or maybe lowering down your chest towards the pillow down to support yourself. You'll feel the length here, or the width in your hips, and how that's going to begin to work, and especially for those of y'all, or those of us, right, that sit at desks or ride bikes or bicycles or motorcycles, doesn't matter. You kind of get super tight on your hips. So in this particular position here is going to allow our fascia and our joints to really begin to open up. Like softly move and check. Good. We have about a minute more here on this position. So continue just to connect with your breath and the sensation on your hips, your knees, your ankles. Bring attention to your jaw. Can you release your jaw? Can you release your tongue? Can you release your eyelids, your ears, your neck, your head, and maybe even your shoulders, depending on how much support or how you're using them right now. So let's take one more deep breath in. And exhale, sigh. Begin to waken your body on your next breath. And maybe pushing your hands onto the pillows, lifting your chest and pressing down so that your knees can come together to touch. Yes. All right. Our last resting pose is going to be a heart opener. So we're going to use our pillows to provide a lot of support for especially the ladies and gentlemen, the bra area. So from here on, that's where we want the support if you have, right, again, blocks and pillows, anything that you can stack in a way so that you can press on, right, is going to be helpful. And then anything that you can actually support your head on as well is going to be super nice. So here I'm going to create little, like 2 little towers, basically with my pillows. I'm going to bring my hips nearby and lengthen my legs. And as gently as we went forward, now gently we're going to go back. So my chest begins to open and my head, my neck is supported from, because my head is supported, my neck is supported, right? And you're welcome to cactus your arms. And this is going to be your final resting pose. So we'll be here for a little bit. If your arms ever do get tired, you're welcome to bring your right hand to your belly and your left hand to your heart. Let's begin to pull breath back into our bodies. And exhale through mouth. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale out sigh. Begin to wake up your fingers, your toes. And maybe your wrists and your ankles. You may inhale and lengthen your arms up as if you were waking up, if this position allows you to. And then exhale very gently, now trying to move your body back, forward, back to a seated position on your mat. Bring hands back to heart center. You take a deep breath in when you're ready. And exhale, sigh out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. And for this final one, we're going to take a deep inhale, lengthen as tall again as we possibly can. And exhale, bow forward. To finalize and wrap this practice, thank you for being here. Gracias por estar aquí. Namaste.